Okay, see guys, today class we talk about the config server. Online people, today is the last class for the not today. This is the last class for the microservices. Last class for what? Microservices. See guys, previously we talked about the config client is done, right? Config server is done. Config what? Server is done. Let me go for the config server. Config server means what? Centralized configuration management in apply microservice architecture. Centralized configuration and dynamic updates and what you can say here. Profile management. These are the data here. We have the profiles. You created dev profile, test profile, and product profile, right? So profile is specific property file you written already. So config server already reading the data from what the GitHub. And reading the data from what? GitHub. Then what we should do? Now today, in microservices, you don't place in all the properties. For both microservices, today is all about open the property file space. All about what? Open the property file. So right click and what we can say close all. Go for the property file guys. What the microservice property file only open. Don't open all the property files not required for us. Don't change admin server gateway keep aside. Only I'm talking about what? Two property files. One is what? Currency conversion. Second one is what? Currency exchange. These two property files, you please check it. See, you don't delete the data from here, guys. You delete here because once if you delete, if you place that they are not working, then this is gone, that is gone, all gone. That's what. You copy this code. You please maintain this code into where, GitHub directly. So when you copy, guys, you please comment this code. You don't delete, guys. Instead of deletion, what? Comment the code. So I copy this Eureka details. Let me go for the dev profiles here. Let me go for what? Dev profile. So to do this, first of all, you open the GitHub, guys. The github.com. When I open the github.com, so previously we have the property file. Repository is a config repository. Go for the dev properties here. This is the development property file. Now click on what? Edit. Once if we click on edit, hey, let me remove these all the details as of now. Previously, what details I have. Let me slowly copy paste one by one detail now. Because see here we don't have the multiple servers and multiple database. Test environment one database, product environment one database. That's what. Just we need to check that my microservice working by reading the properties from what GitHub. That we need to check that's all. That's what guys here. You copy these three properties, then comment these three properties. Then you can place the three properties here. First three properties, these are the Eureka details. What details Eureka details. For the Eureka details, register the Eureka, fetch registry, and some default service URL. You keep this one here. And next one is what? Admin URL. Nice. Copy this here and you place this admin URL. You comment this one here. Comment this one. After that, what management? These are activators, right? So you copy these two activator details and you place the details here. These are what? Activator details. See guys, here also if you comment showing one color and if not comment another color. You see this one here? This is what? Commented, not commented. 8th line is not commented, but 9th line is what? Commented showing like black color, right? If comment is what? Hash. Just you can keep that two properties. So this after this, you comment these two properties. These are what guys here? These are also what details of microservice details. What details No. And activated details. You please comment this activated details. Next one guys, database details. You please copy this database details. You please write the database details here. And these are the database properties. You comment it down. And DDL auto property, SQL true, and format SQL, and dialect class. This property is also you copy this one. And you please place this properties also here. And you please comment this properties also. Now you see guys, these all the properties are what commented. Guys, next one is what resilience closure properties. You copy this resilience closure properties, comment it down, and go for the resilience closure properties also here. Right? After that, what so app name. Okay, app name you keep aside. I don't want to copy the app name properties. Fine. Next one is what guys? I think these are the portability and tracing, Zipkin tracing endpoints. I think these are the Zipkin properties. Copy these Zipkin properties, place the properties. Right? Comment it down. See guys, these all are what? Commented now. These all are what commented. These all are what commented, right? See guys, now your property file is very nice. Only just application name is there, port number is there. Got it? Any details, other details are there? Commented on. Commented. Coming to the another property. This is what property? Currency exchange. Here also details required. A comment or comment. This is what comment చేశారు. Then you can, these all are the what? Eureka. What properties guys? These are Eureka properties are commented. Next one is what? These are the, what properties guys, Huh? These are the details right now. You can copy this one. And initialization mode guys, this is init mode is enabled. Database property, and you can comment this one also. And next one is what guys here? These are the database username, password, all are commented. Fine. DDL are also what commented. This also what commented. All are commented. This one is what commented. Client URL also commented. Admin URL. This is what basic URL commented. This one is also Redis details, right? You please copy this Redis details, and you please place the Redis details here. So these are what Redis server details. See guys, next one is what? These two also Redis server details. Commented, right? That's all guys. Well, these all are the what? Properties. These all are the properties. See guys, first three properties related to what properties tell me? Eureka configurations. Eureka configurations are done. After that, you see that the commented. This is what admin server configuration. Let me write the point is like this is admin server configuration. This is admin server configuration. Admin URL guys. Admin URL configurations. Next one is what guys here. This is what details guys here? Activator details. Yeah, I commented like activator details here. These are what details guys here? Activator details. This is like actuator details. These are like activated details. Okay, fine. After that, these are what data source. These are what details guys here? Database configurations. Database database what? Configurations. Database configurations we done. So these all are the database configuration like this. Next one, this one what guys? Resilience 4J configurations. Go for the resilience 4J circuit breaker configuration guys. Resilience 4J and what circuit breaker configurations, right? After that what this is like Jenkins server configuration. Fine, let me write this what Jenkins server what I can say configurations. Hey, like that we can put all the configurations here. You please comment this changes. I commented changes guys. Now commented that is all of what committed. Once if you committed the changes, you got this kind of color, blue color, right? So, yeah. See guys, these are all the details we got. These are the details. Once if we got these all the details, guys, now it is working fine. Now let me go for the both property file, both microservices. See guys, these microservices properties are their configurations are here at GitHub. Yeah. GitHub. So you read the any properties from where? GitHub, right? You read the properties from where? GitHub. Tell me, you read the properties from GitHub means what we should do? You read the properties from where? GitHub. Then what? Then you becomes what? GitHub means you want to read the properties from where GitHub, but you cannot directly work with what? GitHub, right? You can connect with what? Then you becomes what? Config clients. Becomes what? Config clients. That's what guys, you add the dependencies for that config client dependency, start.spring.io, add dependencies. This is a config server, a config client, config client. Guys, go for the config client. This is a config, we can say config client. This is a Spring Cloud config client, guys. Click on the Spring Cloud config client, click on what? Explore. Once if you click on the explore, you can copy this dependency here. What the dependency is Spring Cloud Starter config. Spring Cloud Starter config. Spring Cloud Starter config is there. Go for the property file, guys. With the property file, in both microservices, open the format XML file. In format XML file, we have to place the details. Tell me, guys, you place the details like config this one. And currency exchange also. Let me go for the format XML file, and here also you place what data. See, guys, once if you place the data like this, data is loading. You please update the project guys. Right click on the project. Tell me how to update. Right click on what? Project. Maven. Tell me Maven what? Update project. Update project. Source update. You click on OK. And go for the currency conversion. Right click on what? Maven. Tell me guys, and what? Update the project. You please do the course update for the both projects, then modifications are what? Reflected. That is okay, guys. Now, then you are what? You are the configure client. You are the config client means what? You need to connect with what? Config server. Here we should give the details of config server. Over here we give the details of what? Config server. Here we give the details of config server details about. You should give the details about what am config server details, guys. Config server details means simply you can give the details of config server. Details of what? Config server. Yeah, these are the details of config server, guys. See, config server is running on what port we need to check first. Config server previous class running on what port, guys? This is called config server running on what? Double eight. This is called what server here? Config server. So config server running on what port? Double eight, guys. Go for this data here. So go for the spring dot config dot import. This is optional for config server. What server, guys? Your config server. Give the config server URL. That's all. Local host port number is what? 808888. What profile is active? Dev profile. Because you are working with what dev I updated code, right? That's all. Hey, only these properties are enough. Remaining all properties required, not required. Not required. This is a corresponding service details and the service connect with what config server. Config server connect with what GitHub. Config server can what? GitHub, that. That's it, guys. Same details you can come to the browser and go for what? Second property file also. You please paste the details. This is 8005 and 8006. That is called config server. Remind details, any data is there, all are commented on. All are commented. Now my project should work. Something like if the project is working means what? Admin URL, Jenkins URL, some project is working, admin showing, Jenkins showing, Eureka showing. All are showing means what? Properties are working, right? The properties are reading from where? If anything is not working, admin service is not working, Eureka is not working, and what? Jenkins is not working, then you decide that okay, that properties are reading or not reading. Okay, exactly. That is only the problem, right? That's what, guys. You please save the file and you please run all the servers. That's all, guys. Just you can place what all the services. Right click on what start. Wait, Johnson. And the what performer. That and just you can run all the project, guys. Nice. All the projects are ready. Dubbing. How many dubbing? Oh, main dubbing. What is dubbing, guys? Main. Main is what not working, guys. Main. You please start and right click and what start. If you right click and start, right click and what start. Yesterday class Bhushan got some issue. This console switching is happen automatically. Console switching is happen what? Automatically. Because one console running, 6 consoles running. Bhushan is thinking that this is going infinite loop. Janta is running infinite loop. How to change the data? How to change the console? Computer symbol is there. You click on the computer symbol, then what happens? Console switching is happened, right? What switching is? Control switching. See guys, my microservice is like, now it will take time, guys, because the services should connect with what? Config server should connect with what? GitHub. All the communication should happen when the application startup itself. That's what it is taking what? This one has to read the properties of config server. Config server has to read the properties of what? GitHub. The communication will take time. See guys, now it's working fine. Now working up. Working. Guys, after working, just you open that, what you have to open? Postman. First you send the first request. First you send what? First request. After sending the first request, guys, background you please start the Jenkins. You want to see the Jenkins configuration, right? Jenkins is working or not, because Jenkins properties are added in what? Your property file or GitHub document. That's what guys. How to start the Jenkins? How to start the Jenkins, like Jenkins, yeah. We need to run the jar file. We need to run what? Jar file. Yesterday Manmad vachadu. Sir, Jenkins not running anta. Why sir? Sir, command not working. What command? And no, sir, some command is there which is not working. You tell me technically. See, jar is Jenkins is not working, sir. I'm starting the Jenkins jar, sir, using command prompt. Jenkins jar. A jar run out, sir. That is a technical way talking. Sir, Jenkins some command is not working. But this is a command, okay, but its command is for what purpose? Jar execution. Java hyphen what? Jar. Just we can write what? Just I can write what? Jenkins. Yeah, this one guys. We should come with the dot jar, right? If you aim rattle, kada neti kodatunnadu. Kada kodesi, sir, unable to access jar files are. Hey, go for what? Jenkins jar means what? Java hyphen jar. Next one is what? Jenkins 2.2.3.5. Click on enter. Once if you click on enter, the background Jenkins is started. It's showing some symbol like what? A symbol also. What symbol? Oh. Yeah, we got the Jenkins server, guys. This is a Jenkins port number is how much, guys? 9411. Now see, your microservice have the Jenkins details. GitHub has the Jenkins details. Yeah. So your microservice is connecting with what GitHub to get the Jenkins details, right? For details, yeah, Jenkins details. Yeah, you go for the data, guys. Here, you please cross check once. Please what? Simply can run the project. And that is the data, guys. Here we can write what? Click on what? Send. Once if we click on the send, you expected what? Answer. We expected what? 200. Still it is going for response, guys. Hey, you got the response. Hey, Kadam. Once you got the response means what? Over. Because reading the data from that is like GitHub, guys. See, now data already coming or not coming up? 852. This is the pound value. Sir, you please change, sir. Maybe, sir, your background working. No, guys. I will change the properties if you want. Just you can write the what are the USD. USD to INR, click on what? Send. If you click on the send, now you see what you get. Why it is not working? USD to INR, the value is how much? 65, right? Why it is taking what? How much data guys here? 105. 105. You do one thing. You please change to the pound. Change to what? Pound. Click on what? Send. Pound కి వస్తుంది. Hey. USD is there, na? What data is there, guys? Here? USD pound. What the details are there? YEN, YERN. YEN is there. Click on what? Send. Once if we click on the send, guys. No, yesterday what happened, you please cross check once. Eureka server, these all servers are what? Working or not. If these are working means what the data reading from GitHub, right? See guys, what the Eureka details tell me. This is the Eureka server. Click on the set. This is called what? Eureka. You please cross check how many details are registered. How many details are registered as yeah, 3. API gateway working, currency conversion working, like that. Next one is what is here? Localhost. Tell me guys. 9411 slash Jenkins. You please check the traces, guys. Right click on what? Service name, API gateway. If you click on what? Send. Now see guys, how many minutes back you send the request, guys here? 3 minutes back. Working or not working? Ah, working. See if you click on this one, all are coming, right? Because Jenkins details with microservice, it's GitHub. You delete it from what? Microservice, you place it where? GitHub. Yes or no? That's the details, guys. The next one is what if you want to go for the dependencies and click on what? Run query. Even though this communication is what? Working or not working? Working. And even one more last one is what? Admin server. You please cross check the admin server. Port number is what? 1111 wall border. See guys, 1111 wall board. Yes. How many minutes back it is started? 6 minutes back means today started. Yesterday started. Today started. Yes or no? Today started, not started. Started, right? That is the process. Started means what? You have the what service? Microservice. You have what? Do you have the details about admin server? Your property file contains admin server details. Who have the details? GitHub have the details. Who has the details, guys? GitHub has the details. That's all. Working or working up? Hey, that is the database. That is what I have. You want you do one thing. I will show you one more small proof of that. What is the proof? Go for the GitHub. Go for the production and property file. What property file? Prod. You click on edit. This is what property file guys? Application prod. Production and property file. You take this code. You delete entire code. You delete entire code. You click on what? Commit changes. What file you are updating? What is your guys? Prod property file. Commit the change. Once if you commit the changes, your production or property file contains any properties here? No. Now you can come to the microservices. Instead of dev, you please connect with what? Prod. Once if you connect with the prod, once if you connect with what? Prod. This is what environment? Production environment. You please copy, select all the microservices. You please restart once. Right click on what? Start. Once if we restart all the microservices, now you check it. Because production contains any data is there? No, empty data. But this configuration contains any details? All are commented. All are commented. Not what? Yeah, commented, right? Yes. That is the data. Finish changing my big last class clear. Check. Ticket book that ticket books nara. Ticket books for nila ke. Course completed, right? Indra course completed. Then the services should not start. It should be failed. Currency conversion started failed. Failed. Excel service started failed. Sir, previous also showed no same, sir. Okay, fine. Let me do what? Restart again. Yeah, we start. Should we start it? Should not be started. When? It should start. It should not start. Question. Start. So, joke చెప్తున్నా చెప్పరా నీకు మేము చెప్తే చదువు అర్థం కావచ్చు. మేము చెప్పినప్పుడే నిద్ర వస్తుంది, ఆడు జోక్ వేసినప్పుడే నవ్వు వస్తుంది. చెప్పు జోక్ ఏంటి చెప్తానో చెప్పు, టైం వేస్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఎందుకు నవ్వుకో అంటారు, సంథింగ్ హ్యాపెన్. చెప్తాగా చెప్పు, త్వరగా చెప్పు. ఎవరు నీకు జోక్ చెప్పి వాడి పేరు చెప్పారు బెస్ట్. కడపానా స్టార్ట్అప్ కడపా. ఏం చెప్పావు, ఎందుకు అవుతున్నాడు? ఎంత మరి రన్ అయితే స్టోర్ అవుతాయి కదరా, దానికి నవ్వడానికి ఏముందా? అదే నవ్వు వచ్చింది నీకు. అది కాదు, ఏదో పని చేసి ఉంటారు. చెప్పు పని ఫాస్ట్. అదే కదా, దానికి నవ్వు ఎందుకు వచ్చింది? ఇప్పుడు నవ్వు అటు అది చూస్తే ఒకసారి చెప్పు, చెప్పు నవ్వు నవ్వుతూ. ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయినా కాలేదా? ఇది స్టార్ట్ నాట్ స్టార్ట్? ఎందుకు స్టార్ట్ కదా చెప్పు ఫస్ట్. రెండోసారి స్టార్ట్ చేశా కదా, స్టార్ట్ అయినాయా? అవలా, ఎందుకు అవలా? లేదని చెప్పు సార్, మీకు ఇది రీడ్ చేస్తున్నా, రీడ్ అవ్వలేదు, అందుకని స్టార్ట్ అవ్వలేదు సార్ అంటే లేదని చెప్పు. క్వశ్చన్ చెప్తా, అది ఎందుకు స్టార్ట్ అవ్వట్లా? ఇక్కడ ప్రొడక్షన్ అది ఏం రీడ్ చేయించా, ఏంటి అట్లా చెప్పకూడదు సార్. ఇంకా ప్రీవియస్ డెవలప్మెంట్ లో ఉన్నాయి, ఇక్కడ లేవని చెప్పకూడదు. అసలు నువ్వు ఏం కనెక్ట్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తున్నావు, అది ఎందుకు కనెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు? వాట్ యు ఆర్ ట్రై టు కనెక్ట్, వై ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ కనెక్టెడ్, దట్ యూ షుడ్ నో. చెప్పరా. కమ్యూనికేటెడ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అవసరం, ఫియర్ క్లయింట్ అవసరం. టుడే టాపిక్ ఈజ్ ఆన్ ఫియర్ క్లయింట్ అండ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆన్. ఎంత బాగా చదివితే నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు, జోకు ఒకటి లేకుండా నేను కూడా నవ్వుతాడు సార్. చెప్పాలి నవ్వాడు కదా, ఆయన 40 గంటలు లేచి సందీప్ నవ్వాడు కదా, స్టార్ట్ అప్ నవ్వాడా లేదా? నవ్వాడు కదా, అప్పుడు నాకు నవ్వలేదు కదా, బాగుంటుంది. చూడండి చెప్పండి సార్, వై ద సర్వీస్ ఆర్ నాట్ స్టార్టెడ్? That's the question. You don't tell previous application or property, dev properties contains of properties. Product does not contain the properties, don't tell like that. Does not contain the property, that is failed. Why it is failed? That is the question. Database properties. So you got the idea that definitely GitHub is working or not working? Working. So see, what we need to tell, like, sir, currency conversion, currency what? Conversion microservice is a client for admin server. Is a client for what? You are the client for admin server. Then you should have what details? You should have what details? Admin server details. But your property file contains admin server details? No. Your property file does not contain admin server details. But you are connecting with what? Product. Product environment contains product contains any properties? No. So I am trying to connect with admin server, but I don't have any properties about admin server, that got failed. So that's what I am not able to start. You are connecting with Eurex server, Eurex server details are there or not there? Not there. You are trying to connect with what? Jipkin server, but Jipkin details are there or not there? Not there. You are trying to connect someone, but you don't have the details. You tell like, sir, I am trying to connect the admin server, but admin server details are not able with me. So my Microsoft is confusing that, where is my admin server details? Where is my Eureka server details? Where is my what? What correct? Approaching. Yeah, where is the advanced server details, right? That is very important thing. Wait, got it done? That's all. You want me to start one more time? Huh? Okay, fine. Let me start one more time. If you have the time, after the class, evening 7 o'clock, you start and what? So 10 times, 20 times also you start, but you don't have the properties to connect with what? Huh? You don't have the properties to connect to what? Admin server, Eureka server, and what? Huh? Because production environment does not contain any details. That's what service started and not started on, not started. There is no details, guys. All the details are what? Commented. You please go for the next one. Next one is what? Dev environment. This is a dev environment. Dev environment, you have all the properties, right? Go for this what environment now? Dev environment. Dev and what about dev? Both are dev, guys. After changing, both are dev. Dev environment contains all the properties. Now your microservice can read the connect with what GitHub, checking that admin server your details, Eureka server details and what? Zipkin details. It is connect with what? Server. You right click on what? Stop. Now you see the output. Now you see the output. Post be what? Started. So the config line is working or not working now? That's it. Both of should be what? Up. Both should be what? Up. Because prod contains your Eureka details and admin server details, Gitkin details. Those are all the details. That's all. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. That is what upward. That is what upward. Now, because your product development environment contains all the details, right? This is like environment details, guys. Profiles, dev profile, prod profile. Just we are break the profiles. String it up. Profiles dot act equal to what? Dev, prod. What profiles, ma? Generally, we are talking 3 profiles, but real time nobody profiles. 4. One is what? Dev, test, prod, stage. Pre-prod కాదమ్మా. Staging area. Staging area is ultimately pre-production. Before the going to production, pre-production we will check. Pre-production is working fine. Go for what? Production. And that is called dev environment. Yes, working fine. Wait, got it up? Good. See guys, I'm working for the branch of the what you will get one small issue when you run this project, guys. If you got that issue, you please cross check once. Here I'm running in what branch? Master branch. Maybe if you change the branch name like main branch, as per the GitHub, I told that main branch is there, right? Branch main branch. If master branch is there, your config server is trying to connect with master branch always. What branch? Master branch. Your config server trying to connect to master branch always. But sometimes when we have the main branch, we have what branch? Main branch. You change to like the main branch, you guys. Change to what? Main branch. You change to what? Main branch. To change to main branch. At the rate. Bootstrap phase main context. Yeah, we need to change what branch? Main branch. See guys, I'm connecting my config server. Please let me check one property is there. Please 1 second. Let me place this data. I'm connecting with what? Master branch. But my GitHub having the main branch. Yeah, you see that small, you got it like that. Excellent observation. This is common issue when the connecting a Spring Boot app to Spring Boot Cloud config server that fetches a configuration from what? GitHub. So this is called application or property file. This means Spring Boot application config server running in port number 888. Config server is config pull the configuration GitHub, probably like what? It's a Windows configuration file. Yeah, this is called it, I guess. But your GitHub repository default branch is what, guys? Main, not a what? master, not a master. Then you can go for what? This is the property, guys. What the property, guys? Is spring dot. Spring dot what? Cloud dot. Tell me, guys. Spring dot what? Cloud dot. This is a default level. See, by default, the default level is what master will take. But you want to make the master, default level is what a main. Main. No, sir, I'm also working in the master branch means this property required, not required, not required. If you are connecting with main branch, e property action. Default label is the main. Default label is what? Main. That's it, guys. Wait, got it, huh? That is called what? Config server, config client. How many steps you done total? In steps was step 1. What is step 1? Add the dependency. Add the dependency in what? Common XML. What dependency? GitHub dependency. GitHub dependency. What dependency need to have? Config. Add the dependency like config or config client. Add the dependency format signal file. Dependency in what? The config client. Add in both microservices. Add in one microservice, both microservices. Both micro. Guys, both what? Micro services. Good. Step 2 is what? Step 2 is what? Properties. What are properties? Step 2. What is step 2? You don't delete the properties, guys. I'm just trying to delete the properties. But comment the properties in what? Comment the properties in what? Application dot properties file. Move all properties to GitHub. GitHub profile properties. Profile what? Properties. ఈ మొత్తం ఒక మూవ్ చేయు. Dev, prod, test. After that, step 3 is what? Your microservice connect with what? Config clients. Tell me fast. Config what? Clients. Connect with config server. Config clients connect with what? Config server. Config clients connect with config server means what details does here? These are the details. Config server details, guys. Step 4. By default, config server connecting with what? Master branch. By default, config server connect with what branch? Master branch. If we are using master branch, then it is okay. If we are using what? Master branch, then it is what? Okay. But if you are using, tell me guys, but if we are using what branch? Main branch. If you are using the main branch, then change, tell me guys, change what? Default branch name as, change the default branch name as main. Default branch name is what? Main. How to make it as a main? Copy this property, put it. Until unless you are using basically if you are using a master branch, this property required, not required, not required. If you are using what branch? Main branch means then property can add. By default, it will take a master branch. Anyway, in the console you get error like the master branch please change to main branch. Master branch you please change to what? Main branch, right? That is the details, guys. So you got it up? Yeah, that's all. That's all about your what you can say, microservices, guys. Write the points. This is a config server, config client. Config client. Yeah. Hey, course completed. Claps. Hey, course finished, guys. Microservices. All of you place this project into your GitHub. You run the project. Close అయిపోయింది నాకు కాదు. ఒకసారి మైక్రోసర్విస్ లో ఏమేమి చెప్పు ఒకసారి let me just tell that point. First one is what is about the microservice. First 2 days we talk about what? About microservice. Monolithic versus what guys? About monolithic versus microservice. I discussed 10-20 points about the monolithic versus what? Microservice. So that is the microservice. Second one is what about creating the services. We talked about how to create the services and all. Third one is what? Communicating the services. Communicating the services. Nice. Fourth one is what? Eureka. You register like Eureka server acted. Eureka server will act as what? Service registry at the service discovered. Next one is what? We talk about the load balancer. When the communication is happened, you are not communicating. I told you we check the chat with the load balancer required, no? Because direct communication means static IP address. But through application name is what happened. Maybe with application name one service running or multiple service running. That time we are using what? Load balancing, right? Load balancing. Sixth one. That is called resilience portion, something like that. We talked about the resilience portion. Nice. Seventh one is what? Yeah, we talked about the API gateway, how the API gateway is working and all. Next one is what? We discussed about admin server to see all the data here. Ninth one is what? Activator. Nice. Activator application metrics and application health details. Nice. Next. Admin server done. We talked about the Jupyter server for what purpose? Distributed tracing purpose. Next one is what? Config server is very important. Centralized configuration management. Centralized what? Configuration management. Config server. Hey, we talked about actually very important Redis server. Caching. Internal cache, external cache. Even if application restarted cache, deleted or not deleted? That is Redis server. Redis cache we discussed. Like that, once you finish the thing, you should have the clarity over about that course will be. What are microservices? Tell me about what you know about microservices. You tell. See, I know the different monolithic microservice application. I know how to get the microservices. I know how to communicate the service. How to communicate the services using VN client, web client, and REST template. I know Eureka server how it works. I know how to load the load balancing. I know handle the faults using resilience for the circuit breaker. I know how to manage the API gateway. I know admin server is what. Admin server. I know the activator for the data. Jenkins server. I know config server for centralized configuration management. I know Redis server for the caching. Like course we tell me about what you know about microservice center. Microservice is simple service. Like someone is asking what do you know about MVC means you tell. MVC. Like I have a layers within the MVC. My controller returns the view name. We have the views like JSP and timely views. And here are all MVC like views and the logics are coupled together in single project. In single project. That's like the mark. What do you know about REST APIs? I know how to build REST APIs, contain REST operations like that, get a post code, delete, patch, these all operations. I know how to return the status code using response entity. Response entity, we have the header status code and body. Every microservice I written a different response codes. For example, saving means 201 and deleting means no content. Bad request is 400. Like that. Because all others knows only 200 response. While status code send you the if you want to cross check your friends, any one of your friends. Any one of your friends. Some people don't know what is REST API also. You ask any internet or any other people know, whatever it may be. So any person you can check, they don't know what REST API, different status codes. But you written clearly 200 is what? Okay, 201 created, 204 no content, 400 bad request, 401 unauthorized, 403 forbidden, and we discussed about what. అట్లా అంటే ఆ టాపిక్ అయిపోయి అట్లా మాట్లాడాలి. Sometimes what about security? See, I know the security, how to handle authentication and authorization. I know how to manage the role-based access control. I know that JWT token generation and to handle the JWT tokens. I know open authorization to handle the data. I know cross origin to enable the data. Calls to give the permission to what other service. I know CSRF tokens like in REST APIs or stateless. I want disable the CSRF. General CSRF is what request forgery purpose like going for the CSRF. Cross site request forgery. Someone can forge our session ID, but they cannot forge what request ID because request is generated by what microservice. మాట్లాడాలి అప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు మాట్లాడతారు ఫస్ట్ మీరు ఐపీఎం టాపిక్ అంతా ఒక 10 పాయింట్లు అక్కడ రాసుకోవాలి ఎవ్రీ టాపిక్ యూ ప్రిపేర్ లైక్ 5-10 పాయింట్స్ లైక్ దట్ 12 పాయింట్స్ someone is asking what is a good microservice and what is it I know what is different knowledge microservice architecture I know how to get a service I know how to communicate with the services using how to communicate I know how to communicate the services అని చెప్పాలి ఆపే కొడుకు I know how to create the services I know how to create the services using the. You don't tell every line of explanation, guys. I know how to create the services. You know the controller layer, service layer, repository layer, writing the data, and I know how to communicate the services. You see, observe my statement what I'm doing. I know how to communicate services using template and REST template and web client and what fee and client and fee and client there is a declarative approach. Now my processing I doing the fee and client. I know the Eureka server, which is active service registry and service discovery. All the services are registered in the Eureka server, and one service communicating another service using what service discovery. And I know resilience for like for the fault tolerance circuit breaker, I handle like status up, put down, and what unknown zone. I know API gateway because every microservice like the every request comes from what API gateway. I will share only API gateway with the client. I know admins are activated like to know the application's health details and what metric details and metrics and all go for the activator. All activated details are maintained by what admin server. I know we forgot one Jipkin server. Yeah, distributed tracing we are going for what Jipkin server. So Jipkin server have the span IDs and trace ID. Every request have what span ID, trace IDs like that. I know config server because centralized configuration management because the configuration server present in what GitHub. Present in GitHub. So that my microservice communicate with our config server communicate with what GitHub, get the details. I know Redis server to catch the data because every time frequently connecting the database, getting the data is what not good. Then you can go for what Redis server. The client frequently access data, I can put it to what Redis caching. Next client to subsequent request or go for what Redis caching. Hey, ఎట్లా మాట్లాడారు నేను అట్లా మాట్లాడదు మీరు కూడా టెంపల్స్ మాట్లాడవచ్చు ఎప్పుడు ఆ టాపిక్స్ అలా దగ్గర రాసుకుని ఒకసారి ఇంకేస్తే అయిపోతాడు ఇప్పుడు నీకు ఓవర్ వచ్చింది అనుకో యువర్ బ్రెయిన్ మీకు రీకలెక్ట్ అయిపోతుంది ఇప్పుడు యురేకా సార్ ఓవర్ వచ్చింది అనుకో ఆటోమేటిక్గా యురేకా సార్ గుర్తుకొస్తాయి మీకు ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే you guys are thinking like everything separate. You think microservice all is what one topic. REST API అంతా ఒక టాపిక్. Someone is asking REST API means you write the point. REST API to build the services which contains the REST operations get post could delete patch contains the status codes different responses capture request code using request code annotation. That's all. You can talk like that. You can talk like that. That's why every topic you prepare like 10 lines of description about the collection. About the collection is what? Collection is the group of objects is singularity. Group of objects is what? Singularity. In the collection I use generics to maintain the type what specific type of the data. In collection we have the parts like liquid and map. List classes when they use, set classes when they use, map classes when they use. That's all. List is for the duplicate, set is for what? Unique values. Map is for what? You will give a test going for the data like that. At least now you point to collections can store the data temporarily and collection can store the data temporarily permanently. Temporarily. Collection is a temporarily. Database is what permanently. Mandatory question they'll ask like what advantage of Spring Boot over the Spring Hunter. What advantage of Spring Boot over the Spring means what? Spring Boot providing the embedded servers and embedded database, Spring Boot starters, auto configuration is very important. Convention over configuration. Convention over configuration means we follow the convention, we are not following the configuration. Auto configuration is enabled by default. Auto configurations. You tell like auto configurations are there, so we don't need to write the much configurations about the Spring Boot. Embedded servers are there, embedded databases, Spring Boot starters are there. Starters important main. What is standard dependency? Aggregate the multiple dependencies as single dependency. Aggregate the group the multiple dependencies as what? Single dependency, that is called what? Standard dependency. That's all. Group the multiple dependencies rather than single dependency. I showed you that default embedded server is what default embedded server is what Tomcat. I changed it also. I changed it with what? JTO under how you written now. Under how you place, right? Question is there. Phase 2 drops. After phase 2 we discuss that one, I think, right? Yeah. They'll ask the question like how to change the Tomcat port, Tomcat server. Then what? How to change the Tomcat server? Clear, right? Yeah. అక్కడ చెప్తారు దానికి మాట్లాడాలి సో without going to what? Home. Without going to home, read the subject, wait for the patience until to get the job. Number 2, no sir, in hostel I get some disturbances and all. To come to the lab, join as a lab mentor or whatever it may be. Even they are not taken for as lab mentor, every day you can go to the lab. You discuss with your juniors and try to tell the subject. Keep always friendship with the subject. If you go to the home 5 days now, 6th day, nothing else, 0. Again, you are what? 0. Option 2, I told. Option 3. What am I? Option 3. What is option 1 I told? Hostel. Wait for the patience until to get the job. Don't go to what? Home. Option 2. What is what? Option 2. Option 2 is what? Patience. For one guy, he's taking the 1 month to get the job. One guy 6 months. One guy 1.5 years it will take to get the job. Patience is very important. Don't lose the patience. See, always you be with the what subject. If you are with your stupid friends and you are going to hostel, you are going to home and you are enjoying with outside boyfriend, girlfriend means khatam. The subject anyway you will forget. Once you forget the subject, not able to do anything. But remember that మీ యొక్క వాల్యూ మీకు తెలియాలి. You should know the value of yours. Sir, 1 month. But what you should not lose. మీరు ఏం లూజ్ అవ్వకూడదు. పేషెన్సీ. మీరు దేన్ని వదలకూడదు. సబ్జెక్ట్ మీరు దేన్ని వదలకూడదు. సబ్జెక్ట్ మీరు ఏది లూజ్ అవ్వకూడదు. నిరుత్సాహపడకూడదు. If you give the 5,000 rupees salary also, you join first. Here 5,000 money is not important. What the work you are learning is important. Even you are not doing the work also, even you are with the subject first. Subject తో ఉండండి. సబ్జెక్ట్ వదిలేసి పక్కకి వెళ్ళారంటే కథం. ఇప్పుడు if you do one thing, you go to the 10 days home, come back. Because debugger done already same. He went for the festival 10 days. After festivals, if there is a gap about some course or whatever it may be, you done the microservices on the flow. If you work every day you are seeing, okay, these are the microservice topic like that. You remember the microservices. After 10 days, you open microservices. That's what. That's what very important. Got it done? That's it. Then చదువుకోండి next. చదువుకోండి. First చదువుకోండి. I don't know microservice, I don't know communication, that's not good actually. On the file, on the flow. Got it done? Very important thing, guys. First point is what? Every topic you write 10 points. Every topic you get what? 10 points. Every topic get the overview, get the boundary, get the overview, something like that. Don't friendship with what? Friendship with what? Subject. Subject to friendship chayo. If you friendship with others, ignore the subject. Please say subject documentation. Don't do that. That's fine. Friendship subject what? Every day. Got it done? Easy pen. Subject so every day, ఇక్కడ points important. Either sit in what? Sit in what? Hostel, discuss with your friends, or come to the lab, or what? Come to lab. And the main important note is what? Don't go to what? Home. Don't go to. ఇట్లా కాదురా ప్రాబ్లం ఇది గో టు ద హోమ్ 2 రోజులు వద్దని వెళ్తారా అది 2 రోజులు అయితే 20 రోజులు అయింది 20 రోజులు అయితే నెల అయితే నెలకి 2 నెలలు అయింది ఫైనల్ యూ గట్ థింకింగ్ లైక్ వాడు పోయి పొడిచేది ఏముంది కాస్ట్ ఫీజు దాని ఉంటుంది దట్ ఈస్ లైక్ యూజ్లెస్ థింకింగ్ అది 2 రోజులైనా 2 నెలలైనా 5 నెలలైనా యూ షుడ్ సిట్ ఇన్ వాట్ at a bad patience. What decency? Online people buy